All right, and we're back again, episode 4, knocking them out. Tonight, joining me like always, we got Toby and Zach. We're gonna get into some EMFs and blue light tonight. See how electronics are taking over our lives, and we're gonna be invaded by the Terminators here before we know it.
I like how Will got real serious right off the start there. It was real monotone. Like this is a serious fucking conversation we're about to have.
If you ever seen the movie Transformers, that's where we're headed. No, so we're gonna pick Toby's brain a little bit on EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that come from absolutely everything. But before we get into that, the Constant Grind podcast, everyone keeps grinding, trying to better themselves. How's everybody's week been? Tobe, how's the new job?
Yeah, all right. So
handling packages.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, I picked up another job because needed more funds, more cash flow for all the companies. So I picked up a job with UPS, delivering some packages seasonally. It's in the middle of the day, so it really puts a damper on things. Hard to learn the schedule to get stuff done in the morning and in the late evening, but I'm making it work. You wouldn't believe about how many angry people there are out there, even though you're bringing them something and they see me and I'm wearing a big UPS shirt.
Vest.
The vest. Exactly. Yeah. And they're like, why are you here? I'm holding this big box and it says UPS, and there's a few people that really make the day bright, and every day it's usually one person out of the, whatever, how many hundred or so people that I see. So it's been a challenge, and I thought a lot of people would be nicer, but a lot of people just, even if they see you, they peek out the window, open the door, grab the package and close the door. And they don't say anything. You just hear the door slam behind you and you're like, what was that?
Tell us about a snack box guy.
Snack box guy?
Yeah, the dude that had all the snacks out for the delivery people.
Which one? Let's see. So
is there a couple?
Well, yeah. Since I can't remember when I talked to you guys last.
Well, you told when I talked to you on the phone, you told me about the dude that had all the snacks. He made you come back and take something.
Yeah. So I walked up to his door, and he lived right on a street. So it was a busy street. So I kind of hid his package behind his chair, so that way, nobody comes by and just snags it. And I walked around, was walking back, and he comes out the door, and he's like, "Hey, man, thanks." And I'm like, "Yeah, have a good day." And he's like, "Hey, did you get some snacks?" And he's pointing back to his porch. And I said, "I seen them. I appreciate it. Really don't know if I fit that yet. I'm too new. I don't really feel like that's me." And he said, "Get back here and take as much as you want. It's for you guys, blah, blah, blah." So that really made my day. And then I was a little worried because he said, "Look out." Something about his dog got out. And,
okay.
And I was a little worried because everybody says that dog bites are a real big problem for UPS guys. So, and there was a little tiny fluff ball. Oh my goodness. It was awesome. But yeah. So there's been 3 people so far in the past 7 days that have had things set out for people. And they're very adamant, like, please take the whole basket, take whatever you want. It's for you guys.
It's like every day's Halloween.
Yeah. So it was, even though absolutely nothing in those baskets is healthy. But yeah, so that was.
Do you take some?
Yeah, I did. I took a Gatorade from one lady, that gentleman. He had some fruit and grain bars that I took.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just try to stick to what I can, but yeah, it's a thought that counts.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Zach, I hate to be picky. I'm wondering if those headphones is what's making you sound all distant and far away. They
Can
off?
you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I think your headphones are still on.
Guys, hear me?
Whoa.
That's better. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You
All
still
right,
hear? You
we're
still hear
good.
us? Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's way louder. I hate to
Okay.
get into this and you just kind of
Well,
be out there in the distance.
You're being a pain in the ass tonight. I'm just telling you.
I'm trying to produce a quality podcast to help the masses because, like Toby said, there's a lot of grumpy people out there. We don't want grumpy people. We want happy people.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Can't do that without the most motivational guy being muffled. Speaking of motivational, tell us about this poor innocent deer that you brutally murdered today. Did you get it today or yes? No, today's Sunday. Did you get it yesterday?
Yesterday.
You
It
got
was
a doe.
actually one of the. Yep, a doe. It was actually one of the coolest things ever.
Oh, really?
I shot it at 475 yards. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
It was very neat. Very neat. That's the second deer I ever got, actually.
Really?
Never shot a deer.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
What kind of when you're hunting, what kind of setup do you have as far as rifle and like a bipod and stuff?
I have to have it on a rest, the rifle on a rest, and then my personal gun, we had to work the trigger because my hands don't work very well. So I use we lighten the trigger up quite a bit. And like I said, I need to have a stand because I can't hold the gun up offhand. Other than that, I'm good as long as I can have the gun in place, and it's a little bit harder because I can't move the gun around as much, but it works pretty good. Works pretty slick.
Heck yeah.
Actually, I used yesterday I used a 6.5 Creedmoor. It was a
nice
1,000-yard gun. So it's pretty cool.
That was an easy shot for you then.
Yeah, it was pretty well. I missed 2 other deer earlier, so
hey, third time's a charm. That's awesome.
yeah.
Get some
But
meat.
no, this week for me, all I did is worked, came home, messed around with some stuff, and I made a video on YouTube. Did you see that? I posted up. It was
Was it the one you get your socks on?
Yeah, my daily routine.
Nice.
Going to work. So I made a video on that.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that, and it's like I was getting frustrated just watching. I couldn't imagine, man.
It was, that's why I wanted to make a video. I've been wanting to do one, and it took a lot of courage. Actually, I would have never did this before. I don't know what got me. Actually, I do. It was just now that we're here to help people. So I want to show them how I get ready. And, it takes me an hour in the morning to get ready to go to work.
Yeah.
But you got to do it. You know what I mean?
You got to look your best.
It all fits in the constant grind. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
It does. What'd you do this week?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you what, this waiting for a baby thing is rough. Wake up every day around 8, except for the couple days I was able to force myself to go to the gym. Got up around 4:30 and got ready and headed out around 5:30. But yeah, just hanging out with the wife, hanging out the little one, the last few, last week of a family of 3 before all hell breaks loose.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. We're going to have one that's mobile and one that's up every couple of hours around the clock. So it's going to be wild. Can't wait. It's going to be just another gear in the grind, I guess. Just friggin'.
Well, lucky you. You.
It's gonna be gnarly. Hopefully everything goes good, and
it will.
I got a feeling this is gonna be the wild child.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a podcast on kids, even though I don't have any.
Well, you got enough nieces and nephews and cousins and freaking family of 5,000.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get into some electronics. EMFs. Tobe, give us let us know what the deal is with EMFs and why we're gonna turn into mutants from Chernobyl from these radiation that's poisoning us all.
All right, so this is a super fun topic. I really enjoy learning about this because it's EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. They come from anything that has power to it, right? My headphones, they have power to them right now. My mic has power, all the lights, everything, the electric in my walls. they have leakage. So around the electric cords in your wall, not that you're going to be able to conduct electricity, but there's an EMF field, right? Electromagnetic frequency field, about 6 to 8 feet that can come off of the cables or the wire that's in your walls. So all of this stuff can affect you. And I know we touched on it a little bit, and I think it was the first podcast we touched on it a little bit. But so there is ionizing radiation, which is X-rays. And we all know that X-rays can damage our DNA, right? That's why you don't have fun with X-rays unless you absolutely need one. And then there's non-ionizing radiation, which is in all of our devices and our microwaves. So they thought, when I say they, I meant like, I don't know, global industry leaders. They thought that if they could lower the non-ionizing radiation enough that it does not heat up the tissue like microwaves do, that it wouldn't hurt us. So therefore, because it's not like ionizing radiation, which is an X-ray that directly damages our DNA, and it's not like a microwave, so it doesn't heat up our tissue, so it's not directly damaging our DNA. But so they lowered everything enough to meet their standards, right? But there's never been a test on it before. And we are the test, right? So in the years to come, in the next 20, 50 years, we're going to see all this evolution of all of this research and stuff coming out and what it does to us. So all of this non-ionizing radiation from EMFs, it's what it does is it, hold on, I wrote this down because I was screwing it up earlier. It hurts us on a cellular level, okay? It doesn't directly damage our DNA. On a cellular level, our cells have these calcium channels that open and close, and they shuttle calcium in and out of our cells. Well, these EMFs, they jam up those pathways so they stick open. And when the cell sticks open, it creates this nitrogen species called peroxynitrate. And peroxynitrate is so small that it can go in and out of the cell, and then it can go into our mitochondria. And our mitochondria is, cells are small, right? But our mitochondria is even smaller. So it's small enough to get inside of our mitochondria. And then, so we have all this peroxynitrate in our cells and in our body. And they found that peroxynitrate is actually the center to all disease. I remember I said that before.
Yeah.
So if they look at any disease on a cellular level, it has to do with this peroxynitrate running rampant, causing all kinds of issues.
So what you're saying is the EMFs are keeping these calcium channels open, so then the peroxynitrate just comes and goes as it pleases in and out of our cells into our mitochondria.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it runs rampant through our bodies, and then it can cause all kinds of underlying issues. Usually it starts in a problem area that we have before. So if you broke your knuckles before, like you would notice more inflammation in your hands all the time. This goes along with diet too, right? Whatever causes inflammation, peroxynitrate, that's where it's going to start the most, because that's where the most cells are trying to repair your body. Okay. So that's where it starts. And then it could be something inside of us. Who knows where our biggest problem area is, but it can lead to anything, absolutely anything. So it's pretty powerful. So what it does is, because it runs rampant in and out of these cells, so it causes cell damage, which causes DNA damage. So it doesn't directly cause DNA damage like X-rays do. It indirectly does, but because it damages our cells to our body, and then our cells, because they're so damaged, fucks up our DNA.
So it's a few processes removed, but it's doing the same thing as X-rays, but it's a couple steps to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So when you say damaged DNA, what exactly does that mean?
So when we have damaged DNA, there's a million different things. So just to touch on a few, on the end of our DNA strands, we have what's called telomeres. Okay. And you can get your telomeres tested. And what this does is it tells you, literally, this is nuts. How long you're expected to live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy
So
crap.
you can be say you're 20 years old, and if you could get your telomeres tested, and if you lived a shitty lifestyle, your telomeres could be 80 years old, and it's saying that, oh wow, you only have like 10 more years to live, and you're done because your DNA is just damaged. Okay. But our body is incredible. So if you clean up your lifestyle and sleep properly and eat properly, you can change all that. And then you could be a 50-year-old with 20-year-old telomeres. And, so then it looks like from a DNA standpoint, hopefully nothing ever happens like a car wreck or anything like that. But just from longevity, it looks like you would live a very long life. Okay. So when it damages the DNA, your DNA is the root of everything in our body, right? So if we have damaged DNA, we're going to have all of our problem areas are going to flare up, or our problems are going to get worse. Our problems are going to get out of control. We could lose our eyesight. We could get cancer. We could have brain disease. We could have anything happen when our DNA is damaged. So I don't want to say like anything's going to happen for sure, because we all live with this, right? So I can't say that we're all going to get it or we're all not going to get it. I have no idea, but this is all such new stuff, and it's absolutely crazy. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. So can you guess how much more EMFs we're exposed to than we were 100 years ago?
Oh man.
Oh,
Okay, so just think 100 years ago, right? There was really no electronics.
Now,
right?
are we looking at like a percentage increase?
Or just like, is it 10 times the amount, 100 times the
A
amount?
million times?
Okay, Will says 1 million. What do you say, Zach?
100 times.
100 times. Okay, so I thought it would be like 500 times, 1,000 times. So this is fucking nuts. It's a quintillion times the amount.
Ooh.
So it's 10 to the 18th power, which is a billion billions times of the amount of EMFs than 100 years ago.
So I was the closest.
Yeah, you win.
But jumping back to the telomeres real quick, I actually just heard something about this where they're doing studies on people going into hyperbaric chambers. I think they did it for 45 minutes, and I'm completely just spitballing this, trying to pick it out of the back of my brain. I think it was like 45 minutes for like 5 days a week, and for I want to say it was a week, maybe it was a couple weeks. I'll have to look into this, but and it drastically reduced the age of the telomeres. Like it brought that age that's attached to it, and I think it was like a 25% or something like that. It was a huge reduction after going into this. I think it was a highly oxygenated hyperbaric chamber. Could have just been a hyperbaric chamber. I'm not sure, but I remember hearing something with hyperbaric chambers and drastically reducing the age associated with the telomeres.
So
Where did you see that at?
I want to say it was on Rogan's podcast actually, but now he's
Really?
exclusively on Spotify. Dick.
is he?
Yeah, him and his
Gotcha.
freaking big money deals. I can't blame him.
So like how much access, let's be realistic right now. How much access do we all have to a hyperbaric chamber?
I mean, until the t-shirt money starts coming in.
Right. So if you have access to one, that's absolutely amazing. If you have the money for it, that's wonderful. More power to you. I hope you can help yourself. But for the most of us out there that can't, right? So we can improve our telomere length. Oh, dude, we'll have to have a podcast on DNA.
So what? Go back to, so people are probably going to wonder, what is a hyperbaric chamber?
It's basically just a pressurized chamber that was, I think, was originally designed for divers. If they surface too quickly, I believe is it nitrogen bubbles will form in your blood. You get what's called the bends, and it can kill you.
Yeah.
So if you surface too quickly, they put you into this pressurized chamber, and it reverses that effect. It puts you back in the environment where you were down so many hundreds of feet, with all that pressure on you. and they gradually release that pressure, and it brings you back to normal. And that's just me guessing.
Yeah,
Well, you have a roundabout. That's good.
Yeah. So jumping back to EMFs before we get too far off.
Yeah.
Real quick on the telomeres. So great. If you have access to a hyperbaric chamber, that's freaking awesome. But what do you do if you can't, right? So we can improve our telomeres in our DNA by our diet, by exercise, by doing everything that we can to prevent any type of inflammation, anything bad in our body, right? So, all right, enough on that. We'll have to have a podcast about that sometime. But yeah, jumping back to EMFs. So everything has EMFs. Our watches, headphones, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything. I know I said before on podcast 1, I think it was, that there's an international company that is trying to set the standard for like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of this stuff, right? And I told you guys, but I'm going to tell the listeners again that this international company, if you have Wi-Fi in your house, that they're setting a standard that's healthy for an exposure limit, and it's only 30 minutes. Okay. And almost every one of us have our Wi-Fi plugged in all day long, every day. And when I learned this, I actually went out and I bought a timer for my Wi-Fi that it's on when I'm here, when I'm working. And then at night when I go to sleep, it turns off. So that way it doesn't affect me. And I know Will told his story about that, about how he heard me say that and he wanted to try it, and his whole family slept really good.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's so many things out there right now. And especially, first cell phones came out, 3G, and then 4G, and now 5G, right? And we still haven't even seen the effects of 3G yet, right? Because that happened, that came and went so fast. 4G was here the longest so far. And, we still haven't even seen the effects of that, because it was, our generation and maybe just a little bit older. So, these studies have yet to come out. So it's going to be, the next 20 years is going to be filled with crazy information. And they're going to just say, hey, sorry guys, you were the guinea pigs.
Yeah. I know we talked about that a little bit before, where, there's so many things where the previous generation could help us navigate through, like, these are the situations that we encountered. This is what we did to overcome them. But with this, it's us. We're, trial by fire. We're going to figure it out as we go. And when we all have a second head growing out of our shoulders, when we're 80, we're going to be like, hey kids, no more than 45 minutes of YouTube a day, or else you're going to have a little Will growing on your shoulder.
But that's the thing. Like, thinking now, even when I was younger, now what the kids do, they're on their tablets all day long. They're on their Xboxes all day long. I was outside at least running around playing. It's sort of scary now.
Yeah. And I'm living that firsthand. I hate my daughter. I hate when my daughter she gets this look on her face. Like if we're watching a show and she just gets that like zombie spaced out face. And whenever I see that, shut it off. We're done. We're taking a break, and we're trying to get a schedule together to where it's limited, because I'm a lazy piece of crap a lot. So I like to watch TV, especially with all this freaking downtime. Like I'm trying to learn as much as I can, but I catch myself just vegging out, and it's like, you snap out of it. It's like, I got to go do something productive. Like, I don't know how much more can be reorganized and cleaned in my house. Like, there's a little bit to do, but it's pretty well put together. But yeah, back to the kids. I just hate it, because I think about when we were kids, we were growing up, we didn't have a DVD player in the car. We didn't have a screen in the car. We didn't have a tablet to where we can watch literally anything we wanted.
Yeah. We
had the window and singing Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round and playing the I Spy game, and I feel like that was one really beneficial, because I feel like that was a chance to give your brain a rest, gives your brain some downtime, where it's like this younger generation, their brains are just engaged all the time and they're just taking in so much all the time. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I think the access to information is awesome, but it's just no way to disconnect.
I
You know,
think I think let me butt in real quick. Well, I think that we're going to see some pretty incredible things with like your daughter's era, because they're going to be so intelligent because they literally have everything at their fingertips and they're learning at such a young age,
Yeah.
fundamentals that we didn't learn until we got into school.
yeah.
And so that's powerful. But the scary thing is what is it doing to their brain on a growing or on a maturing standpoint, right? Is it, I read a few things where it says that it messes with your prefrontal cortex and other development parts of the brain. That's why autism's so high. And all of this, there's so many things to talk about. We can have a podcast. We could probably have 10 podcasts on that. But I can't imagine for you. I know whenever I'm going to have kids, that I'm going to be scared because there's so much scary stuff out there. And how do you make the rules? Like,
Well, that's the thing. I feel like at some point, like we said, we're the guinea pigs. At some point they're gonna come out with, hey, this is the healthy recommended dose of screen time because of all these hundreds of studies that have been done, and these are the results of it. But those studies haven't been done yet, so we're still in guinea pig mode. But I know from like looking back on my own experiences, like I spent a lot of time as a kid on video games, and I truly believe that like that was a disservice to me, taking in more information. I wasn't out. I was definitely outside. I won't say it was a healthy split of the two, but I feel like that time playing all those video games as a kid was more of a detriment looking back. It was lack of social interaction. It was lack of physical activity. It was lack of, my brain developing off of something useful instead of something that was purely entertainment. So yeah, I definitely think that there's a balance that needs to be figured out between the two.
Now,
well,
I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to. I just want to cut in real quick. I don't want to jump into this whole loophole, but think about what, like right now, how the kids are going to school. That's how they're going to school. Like my cousin was just saying, I didn't even know they were doing this, but they are literally having class on their computer, seeing the teacher in the classroom. Like that's crazy. Like, so those kids are sitting there 8 hours a day or whatever in front of their computer screen. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind the way things are going now. Which it's an unfortunate time right now, but that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up too, because me and Will earlier today, we were talking about some of the stuff we were going to talk about this evening, and device addiction and how it makes the social aspect of life fade away. And Will had a great example about how if Will's in his basement and his wife needs something, she doesn't come down and get him because it's just quicker, faster, and easier just to say, hey, when you come up, bring this up. Through a text message. So, even right there in their family, they're already losing social interaction, let alone on a networking standpoint, right? Like, I mean, technology is amazing, right? It's bringing the three of us together. But from kids that are developing, they're not seeing kids, they're not interacting. Us too. Like, how many do you guys get cranky and like irritable if you stay in your house too long?
Oh, dude, I've been losing my mind. That's actually what's been like my typical days off. I look at as, this is my downtime. This is my time to be a lazy piece of crap instead of being on 10, worrying about being as efficient as possible. This is me being this is my off time. But I've been home for so long. It's like I'm going stir crazy. Like I'm truly starting to feel the effects of that. And I can only imagine, I don't necessarily like being around people, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But for a kid who's developing, trying to develop their social skills and trying to, work on friendships and relationships and, get out there and develop their personality. I can't even imagine how detrimental this whole thing is to them. I mean, the suicide rates among kids, I don't know what the numbers are, but you hear all the time about how they're going through the roof of kids in even down to elementary school. Like it's freaking insane, like the way things are going.
You literally, yeah, right there, you said that. But on the same note, kids, all the social media things now too that are around.
Yeah.
Kids make fun of other kids then they're on their games doing this thing. It's just a whole big thing now. It's a totally different era than what it used. It just blows my mind.
Yeah. Well, this
So
is what me and Toby were talking about earlier, and I don't know if this is a thing. This is just kind of what I thought up in my mind is the micro interactions is what I'm calling it. And this goes back to what Toby was just saying about if my wife needs something, she's not going to come the whole way downstairs. She's going to text me or call me over the phone. And this stems out into, your social life. Like if, when you were a kid, you wanted to go play with your friends, what did you do? Did you either called their house, or if they live close to you, you just ran around the neighborhood like I did, beating on people's doors like, hey, is so-and-so home? Can they come out and play? Yep. And when that happens, maybe they're there, maybe they're not. But either way, the parents come to the door, you interact with that parent like, hey, Will, how's it going? Oh, pretty good. Is so-and-so home? Can they come out and play? Like, yeah, let me go get them. Or no, they're not. But hey, how's school going? How's your parents? How's your grandma? Yes. Those small interactions where now it's just cut and dry. Like Zach, hey, you want to go drink today? Yes.
I don't say that.
But you know what I'm getting at. Instead of me walking down to your house, knocking on the door, Britt coming to the door, like, hey, Britt, can Zach come out and drink today? Like, well, no, he's being kind of a bitch today. I don't think he's going to want to, but I'll see if I can get him to come out. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm like, hey, how's Melissa feeling?
See, you're right. And the kids don't know. I saw this firsthand from my cousin. They don't know how to talk to people. Yeah. Literally, we went to order food. He couldn't even order his own food. He's 14 years old and he's nervous to talk to people. Like, it just blows my mind because that's all they do is text back and forth, Snapchat.
Dude, this comes full circle to what I was saying about my job with UPS, man. When I knock on the door and I'm delivering them something and they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to you either.
Maybe 10 people, if my job is not to stand there and wait unless they need a signed package, right?
Yeah.
So I set the package down, knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and I go. And maybe 10 people a day will yell, thank you, have a great day. And then I always turn around, hey, have a great day. Great to see you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But everybody else, just nothing. No, slam the door. Or they're at the door and then they're like, oh my God, somebody's here. Nobody comes to the door anymore.
Oh my gosh, he's 7 feet tall. He's massive.
Yeah. And I've actually seen people go back inside because I pull up and they don't want to talk to anybody. So they go back inside. And then I'm like, I'm going to knock on your door in 30 seconds anyway. Okay.
But Will, he did say he only wore a vest. He didn't wear no pants or nothing. Remember, he just said he wore his vest.
Oh, yeah, so no pants.
That might be the problem.
Now it comes full circle.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. This is Toby's last day at UPS.
Yeah, well, I haven't made the news yet, so I think we're good.
But no, you're 100% right. People don't want to talk to people because they can do it so much easier by texting. And there's so many things out, and it just, I'll be the first one to tell you, before I go to bed, it's horrible, but I watch TikTok.
Dude.
What I do before I go to bed. And it's like, I try to wean myself down to a certain amount of time because there's so much stuff. It's crazy.
That was literally me last night. It was, all right, it was like 11 o'clock. It's like, all right, 11:30, I'm going to sleep. I'm done, whatever. So 11:30 comes up. I put my phone down. I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, I'm bored. I'm not tired. So you just first instinct, you don't even think about it. You just grab the phone. Oh, excavator sliding off the mountain and ended up in a ditch. Cool military videos of dudes jumping out of helicopters. And then you're 30 minutes in, you look up, it's like, oh shit, I need to try and go to bed. And it's, yeah.
So then then since you guys said that, now we could touch on the topic of blue light. Because you're staring at your screen and it's dark, right? It's right before bed. Your brain is supposed to be producing melatonin and decreasing cortisol, so that way you can go to sleep. And since you're looking at any LED lit device, any artificial light is green and blue light. So this is in the 400 to 500 nanometer section of the visual spectrum. We can't see this light, but it's there. All the different colors of the rainbow are in it. But these blue and green lights are harmful. That's what these are for. These protect from blue and green lights. But if you guys are watching this right before you go to bed, it's probably really hard for you to go to bed. So you're going to have to, or try and practice turning, at least, turn it off, try an hour. If you can't do an hour, do a half hour before you go to bed. Especially if you're having problems sleeping. There's so many things, so much going on with blue light. I don't know how deep you guys want me to go right now before you guys interject with anything.
So what part? Sorry, go ahead, Zach.
First, while you're on that, you talked about your glasses. Tell us. I just want to know a little bit overview of the glasses. What kind of glasses are they? What do you feel that they help you? Do you feel that your eyes don't hurt when you're looking at the screen more, or do they help you think?
Oh yeah, so I could feel it immediately.
I just thought you had your shirt off when I saw the dog.
What? She likes to sit behind me in my chair when I'm doing my computer work, but I'm not going to let her right now. So these glasses, the ones I'm wearing right now, they're from Swanwick, swanwick.com. No affiliation yet. And I have another pair. Yeah, I have another pair from Blue Blocks. That's BLUBLOX. So the Swanwick ones, they only block, these ones block 99% of blue light. Wow, Will, you have a cat?
I got a cat. Sorry, I just want to show off my animal too.
And these glasses only block 83% of green light. And so they're not completely the best glasses. I should be wearing my Blue Blocks, but I don't know. They must be in my room because I wear them before I go to bed. But yeah, so I noticed many years ago when I started sitting in front of a computer more, that within an hour, the back of my eyes would start to hurt. And I thought either it's because I'm not tech savvy and I've never sat in front of a screen this long, other than in the oil field when we're already so tired and shit anyway, and we're playing Call of Duty. That's the only time in my life I ever played video games, but we would do that. But I'm trying to work and my eyes would hurt, and then I'd get so sleepy, because I can't keep my eyes open and they hurt. And I'm trying to blink a lot, and then I get tired and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I forget how I was first introduced to them. I think I seen an entrepreneur that I looked up to, or I still look up to him. He was wearing them. Like, why is this weirdo wearing amber colored glasses? And somebody said, oh, it's like looking at life through rose colored glasses. And that's actually a huge benefit of these glasses is during wintertime when everything's so dull, it leads to a lot of depression. And these glasses, because they're colored, they bring very vibrant colors back to life. And it's everything you look at is beautiful. It really is. Everything just looks amazing. So some doctors are actually starting to prescribe them for that reason. To help depression, especially in dead areas of when it's winter and shit like that. But yeah, as soon as I put them on, I bought a pair. These Swanwicks were the first ones I bought. I bought a pair, put them on, and I literally noticed immediately that I could sit on my computer for hours now and my eyes never hurt. Ever. And
I'm gonna get a pair.
You do. You absolutely do. There's a lot of cheapos out there. And I'm not pushing any glasses whatsoever, but I would do a little bit of research on their websites and see if you can find the light spectrum test that's done on the lenses. Because on Amazon, if you type in blue blocking glasses, you're going to get 8 million pairs starting from $299 all the way up to $600. And like blue blocks. They're the best ones out there that I found that can prove that they're the best. And they're like I think they're $125. And you writing that down? Blue
Yep.
blocks, BLUBLOX. They're out of Australia, and they actually have a visual spectrum test of their glasses and a ton of their biggest competitors. So if you're going to buy other glasses that are cheaper, you can look and see, and they'll show you like, hey, they're only blocking 10% of blue light. Like, why would you pay $60 for that if you pay, or you could buy this pair and get 100% of blue light block. And you just have to do your research.
I'm definitely going to get a pair of those, because the same thing you just said is what happens to me all the time. Back of my eyes. Like, it literally feels like they just are, even looking now, you know what I mean? Like, it hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need that.
And I noticed too, Lindsay says this to me all the time. She always makes sure I'm wearing them, because if I don't wear them, I get very agitated unknowingly. And then when I'm trying to sit down before I go to bed, I'm like agitated, antsy, and kind of a jerk. And I think it all comes back to the pain that goes behind my eyes, and I don't notice it. It's not like it doesn't hurt, but it's just annoying, right?
Yeah.
So then you're in that slight pain. It's like somebody's just poking you with a knife. They're not stabbing you yet. They're just poking you. And you're like, son of a bitch, knock it off, right? You're just in a bad mood. And yeah, they help me so much. They're amazing. I preach them all the time.
Now, do they have them out there that aren't amber colored, or only the good ones amber colored?
Yeah. So anything, they just think about the color blue and green, right? To filter out blue and green, you need amber or red. Okay. Make sure you get your think juice there, Will. And yeah, so these ones are amber. So they don't block 100% blue and 100% green. Okay. Red ones block 100%. Well, just make sure you do the research, but most red ones block 100% of blue and 100% of green. The lighter they are in color, the less they block. So if you find a clear pair, they do make clear pairs, and they can reduce it like 10, 15%, I think. I could be wrong. But it's not a lot. So other than a fashion statement, why do you want clear ones?
Yeah.
And it's only blocking 10%. When, if I'm going to be in front of my computer all day, I don't care what color they are. I don't care if I'm in public, whatever. If they're helping my eyes and I'm staring at a screen, I want the best protection that I can. And that's what I do.
That's what I do now at work. I'm in front of the computer quite a bit, and it's like what you just said too about getting irritated. When I come home from work, I'm literally just agitated and irritated, and literally I've just come home and I want to not talk to anybody, because I get very on edge, and I really think that would help. I got to get a pair, definitely.
It's because you're not wearing protection, Zach. Me and Zach are over here raw dog in the computer world.
You are. And, I think we mentioned this a little bit before too, from kids staring at their screens, right? They're actually starting to show that it's related to the screen time, is that, 15-year-old kids, 18-year-old kids are already having macular degeneration and eye problems, eye strain, and it's because of staring at these LED backlit devices all the time.
So now, was this an issue back in the day when we still had like the old school TVs that had a back to them and stuff, or is this strictly LED? Is like plasma and all that stuff too, or is it just LED?
So I don't know how far back I can date a TV. Like I'm not sure. I've never done the research or looked for the research on a TV that actually had a back, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, anything that's artificially lit puts off blue and green artificial light.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So to touch one more quick thing that I wanted to mention is like all artificial light, right? Every light bulb that you have puts off blue and green lights. the way that you can get around that is they make light bulbs that they're called low Kelvin light bulbs. So their Kelvin number, they're rated in Kelvins, and it's a low number. Okay. They're more of a yellow, soft bulb. And what this does is this helps eliminate, the blue and green lights that are emitted from the bulb or any type of light.
Now, what were the lights that you were telling us about before that automatically changed to the reds and the oranges that you said your one buddy has? It goes like with your circadian rhythm.
That's right. I wanted to hear that.
Yeah. So I don't have the brand readily available, but I was just in Best Buy the other day and in Walmart. When I was in Walmart, I seen them back there too. They had the light bulbs and you can change the color of them whenever you want. Since Will said that, I'll say this real quick. Yeah, your circadian rhythm is your sleep cycle. So once the sun goes down, your body starts to prepare, as long as you're not staring at artificial light. So say you were out camping in the middle of the woods, you had no devices, no electricity whatsoever. The sun's up, you have a great day. The sun starts to go down, you're enjoying the sunset. Those rays that are coming from them are, it does have some blue light and green light, but it's from the sun, so it's different. But it does have all the other colors in there, the reds, the pinks, the yellows, the oranges. And what that does is a couple things. It sets our brain and our body into our circadian rhythm, and it's very healing for our skin. So they're trying to, I don't know if you guys have seen this at all, but they're coming out with infrared lights. Have you heard anything about infrared lights?
I want to say I have, but nothing substantial.
So like the past 2 years I've been seeing it, and a little bit more now. Like Juve Light, they have a product. It's just red light, and it's super healthy for you. They used to call them beauty bulbs because they believed that these pink and red lights would make your skin better, and they were actually onto something. So it's only in a certain light spectrum. I don't know the numbers, so I can't quote it. These red lights and pink lights will help heal your skin, but they actually do, especially from the sun. So this is why everybody talks about UV light and how it's so dangerous, right? Well, that's because everybody wants to go out when the sun is high. They go out for 2 hours, lay in the sun with oil on to get a tan, and then they come back inside, and they don't ever experience these pink, orange, and red lights to help rejuvenate their skin, right? So then they get burnt, and they never see those colored lights to help rejuvenate their skin. Whereas you look at like a laborer or a roofer that's out there all day, they are so, if they're Caucasian, they're so dark, and yet they never have skin problems because they're out there from sunrise to sunset. My dog's whining right now. I don't know if you guys
barely.
My dog's barking.
And so pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, yeah. So you could buy those light bulbs, so that way your circadian rhythm doesn't get screwed up, because at nighttime, once the sun goes down, your body starts, the hormones start dropping or raising, whatever it's trying to do. And you could screw that up by looking at artificial light or having too much artificial light around. So these light bulbs, if you change the color to these pinks, oranges, and reds, then it won't mess with with your sleep cycle. And, a lot of us could get a lot better sleep. So pretty wild.
That is crazy.
Jumping back to EMFs real quick. What are some of the ways that we can block or reduce EMFs? Because I know there's you can have a kill switch for a room and all that other stuff, but is there a way to, because obviously cell towers, it's constant Wi-Fi pumping through us. Is there a way to shield yourself or have a place in your room where you can, your bedroom, is there a way to shield a section of your house from all that stuff?
Yeah, there is. That's an awesome question. So there's a few different things that we can do. We can, they make paint out there that it's kind of expensive, but you can actually paint the inside of your room, and it has this material in it that will reflect any incoming radiation or EMFs, right? Any
Okay.
cell signal, anything like that. But also, it will, if you have it inside, it will just bounce off the walls, and you'll be getting it 10 times more than you would if you were standing outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, question. So if you paint your walls, if it's coming through your walls, wouldn't it hit that layer and still get pushed back out?
Yes, but I'm talking about if you brought a device inside that room,
Okay.
it would just bounce all over it because it can't escape.
Gotcha.
Now,
Right?
do you know anybody personally who's done that?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, I just was curious.
Yeah, it's kind of you kind of want to own your own home because it's a big chunk of change. Like, why would you want to paint one room for $500 and then end up, renting and then you leave?
Yeah.
Right. So so that's one route that you can go. Another one is they make these I'm trying to think of I don't know the names of them, but did you ever see like in a story with a princess how she has the bed and it has the net over it or the sheet and it hangs over the whole thing?
That's what I always had envisioned was like a Faraday's cage.
Yes. Okay. So they make it and it's out of a certain material that reflects. And I actually was going to buy one because I was at one point, I mean, I still am very intense about it, but I don't have the money to spend on it. And I was looking into them and they're about $1,200. But they make meters that you can test, anywhere that you're standing. You could test all of the frequencies, all of the EMFs that are coming in. Okay. And they show right on their websites. I watched hundreds of videos of these guys. They did a really good job. They'd literally be holding the meter, talking, terrible videos, phone shaking, their spit flying out of their mouths and stuff. But it's real. Like, they're showing you the meter and then they reach inside to where inside the bed where the stuff's hanging down, and it literally just drops right down. And it's like, holy shit, like that really freaking works.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's incredible. So those are a few things that you could do. A lot of people say, oh, what about, if I'm doing what I can and I live in an apartment and there's people underneath me, there's mats that you can buy that you could put down, or if you can't mat your whole floor, they say at least put it underneath your bed.
Okay.
So that way it's not like bouncing up through you while you're trying to sleep, things like that. There's a lot of people out there that are taking it really seriously, but yet there's a lot of people out there that don't know anything about it.
Now, have you ever heard anything about like salt lamps?
Yes.
Now, with salt lamps, with everything we're talking about with EMFs, they're putting out negatively charged particles, right? Or is it positively charged?
I believe they're positively charged.
Positively charged, I thought.
Okay. And then like salt lamps, they'll put out negatively charged particles.
I believe so. I've never did this, or I've never found the study on it, but just from listening to other people talk, I do know of an individual that even says to put a salt lamp close to your computer because the pink and orange and red light that's emitting from that will help heal you from your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I read a couple places that it kind of counteracts whatever radiation or frequencies are getting put out from electrical devices, that the negative ions are getting put out by that kind of balances it out.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to do a little research on that sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you see them lamps a lot more now. Like my sister got one, my grandparents got one. A lot of people get them.
I know just from my own experience, even just like when we lived in our old house, we'd have one on the nightstand right next to our bed, and bedtime we'd put it down on the lowest setting. And I know if I was having trouble sleeping, I could just kind of sit there, stare at it, and just kind of zone out. And that it's almost like being by a campfire.
Exactly.
It's just soothing. It's that orange and pinkish, it's just relaxing. I don't know the science behind it, but there's definitely something relaxing about it where you can just look at it, zone out, and you feel better.
Right. And I believe that because I don't really think that our human race is evolving, right? Because if we were evolving, I guess I don't want to go too far off on this, but if we were evolving, there'd be people walking around that are 20 foot tall. There'd be people walking around with giant brains. There'd be people walking around with giant legs. You know, as the human body would try to evolve, there would be all types of people, and there's really not. So I don't know how much we're evolving, but in the short time span that we have been here, we have most of our being life on this planet, we have been around fire. So, you know, like Will said, staring into that was almost a blissful experience. And I believe that that's somehow ingrained in our DNA because of the color of it. And because it's been through generations and generations and generations. So I do believe that it does help us.
Well, you would just go sit by a campfire, you know, like if you need a therapy session, go build a campfire at 10 o'clock at night, sit out there by yourself, throw your cell phone 100 feet away from you, and just sit there, look at the stars, sit by the campfire, and tell me you don't feel better, you know, after sitting there for an hour, you know?
You're right. You're right. That's, you know, this isn't really on the subject, but sometime I do want to talk about the EMF stuff and then the healing that like sound waves. Do you guys know anything about that? Like the healing, like with sound waves, you know how people, did you guys ever get into anything like that?
I do know a few people. Well, not a few. I should say I know one person he's a very spiritual person. Actually I know two people now. One is a guy broke his ankle and he actually paid a lady to come sing to his ankle while it was healing. Yeah, because he believes in sound and stuff. And I do too, because vibration, if you look at anything, absolutely anything on this planet, if you look at anything on a molecular level, it's energy and it's moving, right?
Yeah.
So if there's certain tonalities to it, it does have healing properties. So I do know that, but I don't know. Other than that, Zach, I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because I'm gonna do some research on that because I did get into it when I was first got injured. I had got people were telling me the different frequencies, different sound frequencies and stuff to check into. But yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we'll go down some other day. But I just wanted to know if you knew anything on that. But yeah, I'm gonna do some research on that sometime.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Write that down.
Yeah. Well, before I forget too, I just want to name drop here some of the people that I got most of my research from EMFs, and I'm not sure if I got them from blue lights too, but I'm just going to name drop them here because me and Will were talking earlier, and I didn't have the names readily available. But one is Dr. Joseph Mercola. He actually came out with a book not too long ago called EMF. So it's an EMF star D EMF. So that came out. He has some pretty good, he's a doctor, so he does all kinds of research. Really smart guy, intelligent. A lot of mentors that I look up to, they look up to him. So I figured, well, what a reputable guy to learn from. And then another guy, his name for EMFs, his name is Nick Pignot. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but if you type in Google the EMF guy, he comes up. And he has an outrageous amount of information. It's his life. The EMF is his life, educating people about it, and it's absolutely crazy.
How do you spell last name?
Pineault. Just go to the emfguy.com and
we'll put all that in the description.
Okay.
I'm learning that this is all new to me. So I'm writing some stuff down.
Hey, we got to remember this is for us. We're learning off each other, and everyone else is coming along for the ride.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
You're welcome.
This is very interesting.
Oh, Will, I know we're off topic now, but I know the other day you sent a text and you said, what are some good things to learn some nutrition information from? I think it was, wasn't it? Nutrition.
Oh, audiobooks.
Oh, was it audiobooks?
Yeah, because I was trying to find some audiobooks on EMFs and all that stuff and just general nutrition. I just wonder if there was any audiobooks on supplements or just that whole realm of what we're kind of getting into, just so I can listen to something. Because I whenever I'm doing stuff around the house, I have my headphones on and it's either a podcast. I'm trying to listen about nutrition, stock market stuff, or I don't know, anything.
I gotcha. Okay. So I don't know if they have audio. I'm sure they might have audiobooks. Everybody's doing audiobooks these days because it's another way to monetize.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Dr. Joseph Mercola, he's another one. He does do nutrition stuff as well. I got a couple other people. I don't know why I never sent them to you. I thought about it and I'm like, oh yeah, I got these couple people, and then I never ended up giving you their names to look up.
Failure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll try and remember to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. I mean, I feel like we covered a lot. How long have we been recording this thing? What time we start? Like 7:15ish?
Yeah, I think around 7:15ish. Maybe later.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault. Listen,
I mean,
on a serious note, no joking aside, I just gotta throw this in. So
I can't wait. I love excuses, Zach. Go ahead and tell me a story.
I gotta tell you how fucked up this is. I'm getting a new phone because my phone. I need to update a couple things because I want to get a better camera. My phone's old, so I went to Verizon, get a new phone. Going to get it, they had one there. They told me they didn't have it when I got there. I'm like, come on. So she put it in for the order. Wouldn't you know, the next day, I had no problems with my phone at all. The next day, my phone started acting up. I wasn't getting text messages. I wasn't getting calls. My calls were dropping. So when I get a group text message, I don't get them. I get them separately. So my phone started acting up after I got this thing. It's just a very random thing.
You're cutting out.
Oh, he's talking bad about the phone.
What the heck just happened?
He's talking bad about the phone, so the phone's cutting you off.
See, there it goes. Turn your phone a little bit. There it goes. Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good, man.
Okay. But anyways, that was my little story. I got bugged somehow.
All I heard was I was trying to handle phone stuff when I should have made the podcast my priority, like we agreed upon originally.
Okay, Dick.
I'm not the one going against the plans and making excuses about.
Well, Willie, why don't we end this podcast and we'll start recording the after show, and that way we can
the after show where the true magic happens.
Yeah, if you guys haven't already checked out the after show, check out the after show. It's usually 15 minutes of us
just
yelling at each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of these days you're going to see me choke slam Will, so be ready.
The day you were able to, I will gladly volunteer my body for your pleasure.
That sounds terrible.
That sounded horrible.
Hey, if this doesn't work out, it's going to turn into an OnlyFans account. But hey, as always, guys, we made it to the end of this video. We truly appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to us. We're going to try and keep pumping these out as much as we can. And yeah, we'll see you in the after show.
Yeah.